We often see actors as the rich and famous, but not all stay financially savvy. Some spiral into reckless spending, tax trouble, and even bankruptcy. Luxe buys, messy divorces, and dodgy money management can turn millions into nothing. Yet some who seemed opulent were just burning cash. While some were destined for financial ruin, others will shock you. From bizarre paths to squandering fortunes, this rundown reveals seemingly rich actors who plummeted to broke or near-broke status. Hold on for the top shocker, as you won't believe who clinches the #1 spot. Number 7 on our quirky tour is the enigmatic Nicolas Cage. You might raise an eyebrow at his inclusion considering his fame. However, let's not overlook his penchant for eccentricity. By 2010, he was raking in an astounding $40 million annually. And his financial fortunes were on a steady rise, hitting a high mark of around $150 million stashed away. But here's the twist. Cage wasn't your run-of-the-mill spender. Oh no, he was a connoisseur of the bizarre. He collected real estate like kids collect stickers, a sprawling $25 million Newport Beach abode, a New Orleans mansion with ghostly tales, dual European castles for his royal side, and a whole freaking island in the Bahamas. He had it all. And let's talk about his shopping escapades. Picture this, a pet octopus that cost him $150,000. Yes, you read that right. And a dinosaur skull worth its weight in, well, dollar signs at a cool $270,000. But as the saying goes, every wild ride has its pit stop. Cage's detour was the realm of unpaid property taxes, which caught up to him like an unexpected plot twist. Did he make a comeback? I think he did. Next we have Randy Quaid.
I'm back!
The familiar face from hit films like Independence Day and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. He occupies our number 6 spot. You'd assume that being part of such blockbusters would have him swimming in wealth. But guess what? The truth is far from that glittering image. In fact, Randy Quaid has found himself in quite a pickle. Imagine this. Evading the long arm of the law while simultaneously racking up hotel bills that could rival a small nation's GDP. Yes, you heard that right. Despite this wild escapade, he's not yet waving the white flag of financial ruin, but his wallet's definitely not cheering. Now, here's the punchline that lands Randy on this rundown even though he's not completely tapped out. Brace yourself. He and his better half have a unique explanation. They've been adopting an outspend to outsmart strategy. They claim to be scattering their fortune to outwit the enigmatic Hollywood star whackers. Picture this, a clandestine cabal out to snuff out stars to steal their riches. It's an enticing plot for a thriller, but here's the twist. Randy's worth has dwindled to the lower side of $1 million. It's safe to assume that assassin cults aren't exactly lining up to add him to their hit list anymore. Number 5 on our list, the one and only Donald Trump. We've all heard of his famed triumphs in the business world, but let's peel back the gold-plated curtain and take a closer look. Trump's reputation as a titan of the industry was carefully curated, especially during his apprentice days. However, let's not let the glitter blind us. Thanks to dear old dad, his initial foray into business was more of a co-pilot situation. Daddy's deep pockets kickstarted his entrepreneurial escapades, a little like turbocharging a tricycle. Venturing beyond his safety net, he jazzed up his $1 million trust fund with a dash of personal loans. But alas, his real estate endeavors, casinos, hotels, and apartment buildings morphed into a series of flops, each one more spectacular than the last. Somewhere between 1985 and 1989, his ventures bled an eye-watering $359.1 million, according to the New York Times. Bankruptcy became a frequent companion on Trump's journey, a 6-time acquaintance to be precise. His personal fortune maintained afloat, while his businesses took the plunge, leaving a trail of unpaid employees in their wake. Burt Reynolds, a true icon in his time, taking the number 4 spot on our list. He has enjoyed a shining spotlight as an actor, and who wouldn't? Given his smash hits like Smokey and the Bandit and The Cannonball Run, his fame and fortune shot up, making him a top earner of the 70s and 80s. Think of it as his golden era. He amassed quite the treasure trove, totaling a cool $60 million. As you'd expect from someone living it up, his spending habits painted an impressive portrait. Picture this. Multiple homes, a fleet of custom cars, a private jet, a helicopter, and brace yourself, a grand total of 150 horses alongside a main's worth of wigs worth a whopping $100,000. However, the plot twist comes when you learn it wasn't these lavish escapades that dealt him the bankruptcy blow. It was something that would rival even the zaniest Hollywood script. He decided, with a poker face, to invest in a line of eateries by the name of Po Folks. Yes, you read that right. And yes, the reviews did justice to the name. But oh dear, Bert's adventures adventure didn't end there. Not learning from the past, he ventured into another culinary misadventure, Daisy Diner. Spoiler alert, that story ended just as tragically. This time, it cost him and his partner a casual $20 million. Add to that a costly divorce battle and a staggering $10 million debt to CBS, and you've got a recipe for bankruptcy in 1996. Yet in the grand scheme of things, considering his restaurant roller coaster, maybe $10 million in debt isn't the worst dish served. So what's your take on the worst investment idea ever? Do tell in the comments. And hang tight, because the upcoming actors we're about to discuss have even more jaw-dropping losses. Stay tuned. Are you enjoying the video so far? Don't forget to show some love with a like and hit that subscribe button for more exciting content. Our number 3 spot goes to the illustrious Kim Basinger. Remember, she was once a bona fide global sensation.
Merry Christmas to you, officer.
That obvious, huh?
It's practically stamped on your forehead.
Her dazzling charm playing a significant part. Of course, starring in blockbuster hits like Batman added fuel to her fame fire. Yet as luck would have it, her investment prowess didn't quite match her acting prowess. She thought splurging on an entire Georgia town and transforming it into a tourist magnet was the way to go. Well, let's just say it didn't pan out as expected. A whopping $20 million down the drain. And oh boy, the drama didn't end there. Amidst this financial escapade, she found herself smack dab in a legal whirlwind. The tale involves a film titled Boxing Helena, which she'd supposedly agreed to lead. It was helmed by David Lynch's daughter, Jennifer Lynch, who apparently went script happy, turning the whole thing into a bumpy ride. Kim wasn't shy about expressing her discontent, claiming she'd been fed some falsehoods and that the revised script was more akin to cringeworthy TV than the epic project she'd signed up for. Those who've seen the outcome might nod in agreement. But here's the kicker. Despite the righteousness of her stance, a lawsuit clocking in at a staggering $8.1 million came her way. The judge apparently took pity, bringing the sum down to $3.8 million. Still, her fortune took a hit and bankruptcy waved hello. But that is not the worst case. Coming in at number 2, we've got none other than the man of hits and catchy beats, 50 Cent. With tracks like Inda Club that keep the party going, and even Super Bowl halftime performances, not to mention his ventures into the movie world with films like Get Rich or Die Tryin' and Escape Plan, The Extractors, as well as appearances in The Expendables 4 Inches and Den of Thieves. 50 Cent's name is synonymous with success. You'd think he'd be swimming in money, right? Well, not quite. He had a bit of a rough patch when he made the mistake of sharing a certain intimate tape featuring his ex-girlfriend Lastonia Leviston, the former flame of Rick Ross. Understandably, she wasn't pleased with the public airing of her private moments and took him to court, successfully winning a $7 million settlement. Adding salt to the financial wound, he also lost a hefty $10 million due to business flops and owed money left and right, from his fashion stylist to his fitness coach. Things got so tight that he had to declare bankruptcy, a far cry from his peak net worth of around $150 million. Although to his credit, he's managed to climb back up the financial ladder and is currently a multi-millionaire once more. However, he's not quite back to his former glory. And that brings us to the end of our countdown. For the number 1 spot, we have none other than the legendary boxer Mike Tyson. A true force in the ring. His fights were like instant money printing machines, showering him with millions. As a result, his net worth skyrocketed to a jaw-dropping $300 million. Yes, you read that right, before things took a wild turn. But before we dive into that, let's talk movies. Tyson had some silver screen cameos, from Rocky Balboa in 2006 to The Hangover Part 3 in 2013. Yet the knockout losses weren't only in the ring. After being convicted for the rape of Desiree Washington, he spent 3 years behind bars. The silver lining? No more guilt about his excessive spending. Post-prison life saw Tyson indulging in some mind-boggling extravagance. A car collection worth $4 million, $100,000 Bengal tigers as pets, parties worth $400,000 each. The guy knew how to throw a punch at his bank account. And let's not forget the golden bathtub worth a cool $2 million, gifted to an ex-wife. His financial match ended in 2003, filing for bankruptcy with a $23 million debt, including child support arrears. Fast forward to today, Mike Tyson's wallet has slimmed down considerably, with a net worth of $10 million. Not quite the heavyweight fortune of his prime, but still a respectable sum. So while his riches might have taken a hit, his legacy as a boxing legend remains undefeated. This just goes to show, even titans can get knocked out by their own extravagance. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and buckle in for some jaw-dropping entertainment. Before you leave, do you want to see 8 extremely rich people that live like they are poor? This video features 8 magnates living on the down low. It's a riot of a show that'll leave you wide-eyed and amazed.